Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Wednesday, March 19th. We have all you need to know about candidates in Center County's municipal election, as well as more on the lasting effects from this past weekend's storm.
We also have information on the stuck NASA astronauts return to Earth, along with sports, entertainment, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Alicia Ernst.
And I'm Grace Eckerle. Center County prosecutors say charges are to be expected against the Howard Township funeral home owner accused of abusing a corpse. The district attorney's office approved charges against Garrett Singer, owner of Singer Cater Neff Funeral Home, following the state police investigation. The allegations remain undisclosed, but Singer and his business were sued this week by a woman complaining that her deceased mother's body was left to decompose for 6 weeks before being cremated. The lawsuit also claims that there were other corpses who had also been mishandled.
A State College man died this past Sunday after coming in contact with a downed power line following severe storms in Ferguson Township. 23-year-old Jolyn Tong was electrocuted around 6:50 p.m. on the 200 block of South Water Street. He had exited his vehicle due to a fallen tree and stepped on the wires. Tong was pronounced dead at the scene. Strong winds from the storm caused widespread damage and power outages throughout Center County. More than 11,000 homes were affected, with 3,600 still without power as of Monday afternoon. Center County 911 reported that they had received more than 350 calls on Sunday.
Some exciting news in politics. The ballot is taking shape for Center County's 2025 municipal elections. Voters will select party nominees for key local positions, including mayors, borough councils, county offices, and district judges in the May 20th primary. Running unopposed for district attorney is Democrat Bernie Cantanora. Jury commissioner candidates will also include Democrat Shelley Thompson and Republican Hope Miller. Here in State College, Mayor Ezra Naines is seeking re-election with no Republican opponent. For the entire list of candidates, you can visit statecollege.com.
The Discovery Space Center in State College is making waves with a new exhibit featuring a cute guest, Pearl, a baby California round ray. Pearl arrived from the Electric City Aquarium and Reptile Den in Scranton on March 5th and is currently settling into her new home. Pearl's official public debut was last Saturday, and she'll be living at the center for the next 1 or 2 years. The exhibit aims to educate the public on marine conservation and ecology. What can students expect outside this week? Student meteorologist Frank Gargione is live in the studio with this week's forecast. Frank?
Thanks, Alicia. Take a live look here at State College. The sun is set 66 degrees here, feels like 66. Dew point very low at 28 degrees here, and visibility very clear, 10 miles. We have a little bit of a breeze from the south at 6 miles per hour. If we take a look at our weather headlines, we have really warm weather. If you went outside today, you probably noticed it. Above average temperatures for today. However, rain is arriving tomorrow. Showers throughout the day, Thursday. And if you take a look to the weekend ahead, temperatures will cool after some precipitation. So if you like the warm weather, my condolences. If you take a look at our temperatures here across the state of Pennsylvania, like I said, 66 degrees here in State College. If you look out to the west, 79 degrees in Pittsburgh, way above average for this time of year, 72 in Franklin, 75 in Erie. And if we take a look out east, still in the low to upper 60s, 61 in Harrisburg, 63 in Philadelphia, 66 in Allentown. So very above average temperatures. If we look at the high temperature departure from average, we can see how much above average we really are. 21 degrees above average from our high temperature today here in State College. Pittsburgh, you reached 80 degrees today. 31 degrees higher than normal. Erie, same deal, 76, 32 degrees higher than normal. If you take look out to the east, it's the same story, around 15 to 20, low 20s, above average for this time of year. So warm temperatures from yesterday and today, but that is expected to change. So we take a look at our radar and satellite here. Some cloud coverage across the area in State College with some broad clearing out to our west. And if we take a look at step back as our next rainmaker here, we can see really where the storm is laying up. If we take a look at the next Here's our storm system making its way into the future weather here. If we take a look as we head into tonight, into tomorrow morning, early in the morning here, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, some showers rolling in as you head to your class. And this will continue as we head throughout the day Thursday here, with some showers still rolling in and even some snow showers as temperature cools as we head into the overnight hours on Friday. Tonight in State College, 46 degrees with clouds increasing, south wind at 10 miles per hour. And tomorrow, 56 degrees with rain likely and a south wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperatures are expected to cool over the next 6 to 10 days, however, as we have this broad trough. If we look at our 7-day forecast, very warm today with rain likely tomorrow, like I mentioned. But if we take a look into our weekend here, 49, 50, 48, about average for this time of year with a potential for some some rain showers, on Saturday. And if we take a look towards our early work week on Monday and Tuesday, expect some rain on Monday, about temperatures of 54, and Tuesday, back down to a little bit below average, 45 degrees. Back to you, Alicia.
Thanks, Frank. Now stick around because after the break, Sophia Monteforte will have the latest in sports.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Baden Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Sophia Monteforte with your sports update. The Penn State baseball team have found themselves a rhythm of success in the season so far. They have a 15-4 record that includes 4 conference wins against other Big Ten opponents, like Indiana and Northwestern. The Nittany Lions have rode back from away games 9 times on a winner's high, proving their strength on the road. When you think about Penn State baseball, you can't help but think about those Dollar Dog nights at Medler Field. The team has won on both Dollar Dog night occasions. Is that just luck or a trend in their victories? Kickoff for tonight's game was at 5:30 p.m., where the team is hosting Lafayette. Penn State Athletics' very own Pat Kraft is up for the Sports Business Journal's Athletic Director of the Year award. This is Kraft's 3rd year being the head of athletics in Happy Valley, and is up against 4 other nominees across the nation. He is the only director in the Big Ten to be nominated for this esteemed award. In just the last year of Kraft's tenure, the women's volleyball team won their first national championship in a decade, and the football team saw their way to the college football playoff semifinals. Not only that, but Kraft is also overseeing the $700 million renovation happening on Beaver Stadium right now. Crafton fans will have to wait until May 21st to know the award recipient. With the first 4 games of March Madness tournament taking place last night, fans are finishing up the final touches of their brackets. Some popular contenders for the Final Four are Florida, Duke, and Auburn, but they already have the glory of the number 1 seed. Now, what about those teams that did not sneak their way into the top 10 standings? The UC San Diego Tritons are entering the tournament ranked number 12, but should not be counted out just yet. They are coming off a Big West championship and 15 straight victories. Michigan, over at the number 5 seed, should treat the Tritons like a top 5 team if they want a chance at advancing. Jets fans are waiting to see what moves the front office in New York would make in this free agency. Lo and behold, Justin Fields leaves Pittsburgh Steelers after just one season to become a Jet. Was it a coincidence that New York brought together 2 former Ohio State teammates? If the chemistry between Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson and Fields can rekindle from their college days, these two could be a dangerous offensive duo. Luckily for Fields, he will not live in the shadows of a veteran again with Aaron Rodgers in free agency. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Kylie Smith has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This is Mini Talk.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
And he knew that. How do you say
I know.
she continues to hold her values and everything though, and I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart.
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts,
creators,
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston?
We're doing things that have never been done before. So welcome to the family.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
A natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
Been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
What if Asking Penn State? Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Kylie Smith with your entertainment update. Grammy Award winner Leon Thomas, widely known for his role as Andre on the Nickelodeon show Victorious, is coming to Penn State. The R&B singer will be performing on Tuesday, March 25th at 8:30 p.m. in Eisenhower Auditorium. Thomas will be performing songs from his newest album, Mutt. The album is said to tie Thomas's love of jazz icons with neo-soul and rock acts into sleek jams with a contemporary edge. Reserved seat tickets are available to Penn State students for $10. Tickets for all others interested are $25. You can get your tickets on the Center for the Performing Arts at Penn State website. Penn State's very own Melody Muniz will return to Eisenhower Auditorium, where she will play Wednesday Addams in the hit comedy musical The Addams Family, presented by Big League Productions. The national tour will perform twice, with the shows taking place on Tuesday, April 1st and Wednesday, April 2nd. Both shows will start at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at cpa.psu.edu, with student tickets starting at $40. Adult tickets start at $66, and people aged 18 and younger can get tickets starting at $49. ASL interpretation will be provided at both shows, and audio description will be available at the April 2nd show. Nikolai Wagner is live in the studio with more details on an Independence Day celebration. Nikolai?
Thanks, Kylie. Before spring break, I had the chance to attend Ghana's 68th Independence Day celebration held by the student organization Ghanaians at Penn State. Let's take a look. On March 7th, an event was held by the student organization Ghanaians at Penn State to celebrate the 68th anniversary of Ghana's independence. The event took place from 4 to 8 in the current building, with the theme of the event being From Gold Coast to Global Coast, Navigating Career Success as a Ghanaian in the Diaspora, as the event focused on career growth and networking while embracing cultural identity. Hi, I'm Nikolai Wider, and I'm here at Ghana's 60th Independence Day celebration here at the Kern Building at Penn State. This event comes from Ghanaians at Penn State.
My name is Adelaide Delali Kluche. I serve as the president of Ghanaians at Penn State. Ghanaians at Penn State is a newly recognized student organization here at Penn State. We were recognized in September 2024, so we are barely 6 months old. We came together as a group of Ghanaians after years of conversation. I first came to Penn State in 2022, and we met as a group of strangers wondering whether there was a place specifically for Ghanaians here at Penn State. So upon several series of conversations, we decided to come together and get registered on campus as a way of building community, showing the Penn State community our culture, and also being able to meet on a regular basis. Today, we are celebrating Ghana's 68th independence. In today's event, we have a keynote speech, and then we have a panel discussion on career success, and all our panelists and keynote speakers are Ghanaians who studied abroad and have become faculty members here at Penn State.
This Independence Day seminar was the first formal event for Ghanaians at Penn State, but they are looking to make an annual tradition to celebrate Ghana's Independence Day every year at Penn State. It was a great way of commemorating an event that took place 68 years ago on March 6, 1957, when Ghana gained its independence. Back to you, Kylie.
Thanks, Nikolai. In national news, Emmy and Tony Award-winning actor Courtney B. Vance will narrate the first ever audio edition of David Levering Lewis's 2-volume biography on Web Dubai. In a statement released by Simon & Schuster Audio, Vance said he was drawn to the award-winning biography as a lover of history. Lewis received Pulitzer Prizes for both of his Dubai books and said that he was gratified to have his books available in studio. The biography discusses the Harvard graduate's work as a sociologist, historian, author, and pioneering civil rights activist. The first volume is scheduled for release on June 17th. Earlier today, federal prosecutors announced that a former Eminem studio engineer was charged with stealing the rapper's unreleased music and selling it online. 46-year-old Joseph Strange was charged with copyright infringement and interstate transportation of stolen goods. According to investigators, more than 25 songs were stolen from the rapper's password-protected hard drives that he kept in a safe in his Ferndale studio. The music was said to be distributed online without the consent of Eminem or his record company. Strange, who was fired from Eminem's studio in 2021, could face up to 15 years in prison if convicted of both counts. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Sophia Miranda will be speaking with Adriana Gallucci, one of the general managers of Com Radio. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
All of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This is Nittany Talk.
Like us making shows
I would say spring.
Slow down.
And he knew that. How do you think?
I know.
She continues to hold her values and everything though. And I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose a lot of sleep.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart,
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts
creators
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston? Like,
We're doing things that have never been done before, so welcome to the family.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Borzillo, here with Aiden Harrell.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
If you don't include human beings, you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
That the natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
Been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State. Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Sophia Miranda. I'm joined tonight by Adriana Galucci, one of the general managers of Com Radio. So thank you so much for coming tonight, Adriana. But let's just start from the beginning. When did your passion for sports and journalism flourish?
Yeah, I grew up in a sports family. Pretty much everybody in my family plays sports. My brother's committed to Hobart to play lacrosse. I have cousins who are playing Division I and are hoping to go Division I as well. So I was always surrounded by it from a really young age. And my dad was the one who got me hooked onto sports. He is a huge baseball fan. He's a huge hockey fan and football fan. So I took his Mets and I took his Rangers, but the Jets were a losing team at the time and I just couldn't do another losing New York team. So I took in the Patriots. I'm a bandwagon, I'll say that. But those are some of my best memories growing up, was watching the Mets with my dad, watching their 2015 World Series run. And I think at the time I was about 13, 14. And, it's a really tough age, especially when you're going into high school. And sports was one of the things that I latched onto. And it was one of the things that really made me who I was in high school. I ended up working with my high school's baseball team for 5 years, starting when I was in 8th grade, and I was doing all of their media stuff. I formed a bunch of really great relations. And when it came time to applying for colleges, I always knew I wanted to go to Penn State. That was my dream school. And I mean, we have one of the best communication schools in the entire world. I've always loved to write. I've loved to talk. That's one of the things you know about me, if you know me well, is I can definitely talk. So I knew I wanted to do something in journalism, whether that was writing or putting together packages or producing a story or just sharing stories for people who don't have that voice. I wanted to combine all of those elements, and I ended up here.
Perfect. Obviously, your current position is being general manager of Com Radio. How did you start in the club, and also how did you become a leader on it?
My best friend, now my best friend, she's also in Com Radio, but we both came to campus and we were freshmen and we didn't really know what we wanted to do. And she said, this Com Radio Club is having an interest meeting. It was like a Thursday in August. She said, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. And I just fell in love with it. Those people became some of my best friends. I've worked hard for every single opportunity. And then at the end of my freshman year, they were taking applicants for management. And I just decided to throw my hat into the ring, and they offered me new member coordinator. And I knew I had to say yes. It was just one of those things where it comes upon you, and it's one of those opportunities you have to take. And my sophomore year, I was new member coordinator. I trained about, I want to say, roughly 140 to 150 freshmen and new members over the course of several weeks in the fall and in the spring. And it was one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Looking back on my college experience, it was fun. It was stressful. It was definitely crazy at times, but it was rewarding. And at the end of my sophomore year, they were taking applicants for general managers. And I said, the worst that they can tell me is no. I was younger than everybody else going out for the position, but I had the confidence in myself. I had the belief in myself. And I ended up being one of 3 general managers. And it's just been a wild ride, but it's been a fun ride, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, amazing. Obviously, you do work for Com Radio. You also do Penn State Sports Night. You mainly covered wrestling for Penn State Sports Night, men's hockey for Com Radio, if I'm not wrong, for as an insider. Just both teams just had great runs. I think men's hockey might make it to the nationals. Wrestling, just a great sport overall. What were some memorable moments of this season that you can think of?
Oh boy, I guess I'll start with wrestling. I mean, wrestling is one of those sports that I've picked up being in college. From where I'm from, back in New Jersey, wrestling isn't the biggest sport that we have there, but everybody in central Pennsylvania loves wrestling. And obviously with the dynasty that Penn State has built, how could you not? Yeah. So every time I'm in rec hall and feeling that atmosphere, you know that those guys on the mat are going to go out and perform the best that they can. So I would say just being in rec hall, getting to watch guys like Mitchell Messenbrink and Carter Starachi, Greg Kirkfleet, go out and just dominate win after win after win. For hockey, though, it's a little bit more personal. I, through Com Radio, had the wonderful experience of going out to Chicago for the Frozen Confines, which was a trip that was made possible by Com Radio and Jeff Brown and the College of Communications. And every day I'm so grateful for that trip. I got to broadcast on Com Radio Penn State's game against Notre Dame. And while it didn't end so greatly for Penn State, it was the trip of a lifetime. I got to go out to Chicago with some of my best friends and make memories, make some connections with people in the Big Ten. And it's going to be one of those things that I look back on. And when I think about college and my time at Penn State, that trip to Chicago is always going to stand out. But just also being in Pagula and being an insider is one of those things that makes me who I am. It's going to media every single Monday and prepping and thinking of questions, or scribbling things down so we can talk about it on the podcast, or just being on press row with my friends and putting in the work and putting in the long hours. Those are the things that I hold so close to my heart.
Oh, amazing. And obviously, you're a woman in sports. We see, obviously, Com Radio, the majority are men. However, we do see, obviously, we had the women in collective team in Com Radio as well. Do you want to tell me a little bit about it? And also, what does it mean to you to be a woman in sports?
Yeah, so the Women of Com Radio Collective was started by one of my predecessors, Emily McGlynn, who was a former GM of Com Radio last year. And it was just a space mainly for the women in the club, but also for everybody to come and talk about the things that really matter to them. And we've been able to do so many amazing things in the collective. We have done goal setting, we've done roundtables, and just talk about the issues that really mean the most to us. We're actually having a meeting tomorrow. We're doing another one of those roundtable discussions, but I want people to know that they can achieve anything that they set their mind to. Nothing in this life is impossible if you put your head down and you work hard. That's one of those things, is if you work hard, you have that confidence and you believe in yourself, those things happen when you make the work happen. So being a woman in sports, I'm proud of that. I'm proud every single time I step into rec hall. I'm proud every single time I step into Pagula or I step into Wood for a management meeting, not only knowing that I'm representing myself, but I'm representing something a lot bigger.
Amazing. Obviously, you can achieve anything. So to finish this, what are your biggest goals into the future and near future?
I'm going to graduate Penn State next year with a degree in broadcast journalism, minors in sports studies, legal studies, and my certificate in sports journalism. So being a journalist, being a reporter, or I'm also thinking of going to law school, getting my JD, becoming a lawyer in that capacity, but also just continuing to live life every day to the fullest, getting better in the gym, working more on my faith, and just being an all-around well-rounded person.
Amazing. Thank you so much for agreeing to be in this interview, Adriana. Now, stick around because coming up next, Gracie and Alicia will have the latest news from across the nation.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Borzillo. You're here with Eckerle.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
At least 39 people are dead after a weekend of extreme weather across multiple states in the Midwest. Tornadoes, wildfires, and dust storms left widespread devastation. In Oklahoma, wildfires destroyed over 400 homes and killed at least 4 people. Missouri saw at least a dozen tornado-related deaths, while Mississippi and Alabama reported fatalities and severe storm damage. In Texas and Kansas, dust storms caused deadly highway pileups, killing nearly a dozen citizens. Officials have warned fire danger is still high in parts of Texas and Oklahoma, while extensive recovery efforts continue in these storm-ravaged communities.
NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams have officially safely returned to Earth. A SpaceX crew capsule arrived at the International Space Station on Sunday, delivering replacements for the 2 astronauts who had been stuck in space. The new crew from the US, Japan, and Russia will learn the station's ropes from Wilmore and Williams. The pair had initially expected to be gone only a week or so, but due to delays with Boeing's Starliner capsule, they'd been stuck in space since June.
President Donald Trump has invoked the Alien Enemies Act for the first time since World War II, deporting hundreds of immigrants linked to the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. A federal judge temporarily blocked the deportations, but the operation has begun and 2 planes have already left. Law allows deportations without court hearings during wartime, but the administration hasn't provided evidence linking the targeted deportees to the crimes. The U.S. sent 300 alleged gang members to El Salvador in exchange for a $6 million deal. Trump called the gang a, quote, invading force. But critics argue that this law should really only be used during declared wars, not peacetime immigration enforcement, such as today.
A former pastor of a Texas megachurch accused of child sexual abuse surrendered to Oklahoma authorities on Monday. 63-year-old Robert Preston Morris turned himself in to Osage County officials after being charged with 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child. The accuser, Cindy Clemenshire, claims the abuse began when she was 12 years old and continued for 4 years. Morris resigned last year from Gateway Church in Southlake, Texas, after the allegations were made public. He's expected to make an initial court appearance on May 9th. Morris could face up to 20 years in prison per charge. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.